Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, corn dog lovers of all ages, welcome to In the Box with your hosts, Matt and Adam.
Everybody get...
First of all, I'd like to apologize for the typographical error on the intro. On the Barks. Hello, McFly. So we wanted to embrace what has happened over the last couple of weeks. Who do you think? Okay, so speaking of like misspelling things, who do you think would win in like a your sound isn't working? Well, that's perfect.
How's this? Is this better?
I can hear you just fine.
Well, okay. Somebody in the chat or somebody who's messaging me all crazy. Okay, now it works. All right. Let's We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, corn dog lovers of all ages, and
Welcome, MASS family. This is On the Barks. So, apparently my sound wasn't working because this program that I used decided my sound device had expired or something, and it just was like, you know what?
Wow.
We don't like this guy anymore. We're cutting his mic off.
It's I mean, just add that to the list of things that have just gone crazy in 2022.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Geez, we lose Bob Saget.
I know.
This happens. Like, I mean.
So I welcome my friend Marty. I'm Andy. What else do we say?
Andy, Marty. Sure.
Great Scott. Okay.
McFly. Hello.
What else did I say? We said.
We were talking about MASS on the Barks.
Yes.
We wanted to embrace the goings on of the last couple of weeks.
Now that we got that straight,
Bunswhacker was here.
Oh, Bunswhacker, yeah. Should we start over now that we got everything?
And then the whole audio thing came up, and then you rewound it, and then now we're back to.
Should we have a on the Barks Groundhog Day version? We just start over every time we get through that.
Yeah, we just keep doing this for the next 3 hours. Yeah.
So, in case you guys don't know what I'm talking about, so we posted a couple things. I posted something saying that the M Buns now have some competition, and I got ran through by Mo NDI, who, by the way, Mo, I'm a huge fan of your playing, and it was just kind of funny.
Wait, back up. What happened?
Oh, you didn't see that?
No.
So when I posted the Colorado Inferno, which we'll get to in a second, Mo's like, I hope you're not talking smack with that profile picture of yours, which is the Wave logo. One down here.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, no, it has nothing to do with this. So for those of you who haven't seen it, this appeared on the Dallas broadcast a couple weeks ago. And we had a lot of fun with this last week. However, since then, we have this. And this is on the MSL2 broadcast, the Colorado Inferno from Colorado, Italy.
Infierno.
So the NISL doesn't have a team in Rome, Italy, but the NISL 2 does have a team in Italy.
Ooh, a Colorado versus Rome Italian showdown.
And now we have the Chihuahua Savage. And then, not 5 minutes ago, our friends in Harrisburg are fueling up. Like, what is going on?
All right, so I think here's what I think. I think the Harrisburg Post was done by our good friend Willie B, and I think he did it just to keep it going so we would have something to talk about.
All right, so here's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting another 1 to 2 minute video from Utica where every single thing in the video is spelled wrong.
Well, luckily, well, did they have? I don't think they had a lot of spelling type things in the last one with Logan and Quentin Swift. I don't think so. But
No, there wasn't. That was a good.
Yeah.
That was a good video, though.
it was a great video. They're all great, so not biased or anything.
Yeah. So we don't know what's going on. We don't know. At this point, I have to think it's a prank. It's like some league-wide social media, like when like the McDonald's and the Burger King Twitter accounts get after each other, and they start ragging on each other. And speaking of, we don't do fast food very often, but Tara's on her broken foot. It's hard for her to make stuff. I'm useless in the kitchen, except for the eating part of the food. So we decided to head out to Burger King tonight. Now, over the years, what is Burger King famous for?
The Whopper.
But what particular, what was their slogan?
Impossible. Was it the Impossible?
No. Think like 30 years ago. What is the Whopper? How is it cooked?
Oh, all beef patty, grilled all beef patty.
Flame broiled.
Flame broiled, yeah.
Take a guess at what was down and not working at Burger King tonight.
They're a fry machine.
The broiler.
Oh.
What's the only thing you can't order at Burger King right now? Burgers. So, yeah, flame grilled, flame broiled.
I had Taco Bell. I had that new Chipotle thing.
Oh. Ever since they punched one of my tacos in the bottom of the bag, I haven't been there.
I heard Taco Bell was supposed to have, well, I think it ended, but they had chicken wings for like a week or so.
Was that a thing?
I don't know, but they're like breaded. And being from New York State, like the origin of buffalo wings.
Yeah,
right. I think that's like a huge slap in the face to chicken wings.
Yeah, I'm doing some testing here. Somebody typed some stuff in the chat. Oh, that's pretty good. So, do me a favor, somebody in the chat. I'm going to start counting to 20. Type along when you see, and this is obviously not in the box, on the Barks. This is not in the box related, but since we're on the Barks tonight, this is definitely on the Barks related. I'm trying a new feature in YouTube too, that's supposed to be a little faster for response for you seeing our videos, so you could be more real time for chat. I'm gonna start counting to 20. Start typing in along with me, and we'll see how far behind everything is.
Oh, this is a good group activity.
Right, it's a group activity. So everyone at the same time. So ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's pretty good. Okay, I'm not going to go to 20. Okay, everyone stop. Sorry. It's just, the chat is this long now with people typing numbers.
Yeah, I'm gonna look tomorrow and be like, okay, well, this is great.
Because it was like 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, and then just all the way up the screen. All right, thank you. Emma's at
Well,
4.
who is in the chat? Who is in the chat?
Everybody's in the yeah. Capes 13 called me a quitter. Megan Grosskreutz in the chat. James Kowalczyk is in the chat. Bunswhacker, of course. Some goof named Hans something or other. Kevin is in. Kevin's going to see the Crunch home opener Saturday. Hopefully they spelled
nice.
Crunch correctly.
That's good.
Emma's here. Steve Cave is here. Jack is here. And now we have numbers, so now I'm going to lose somebody. You know.
Wait, Emma's here.
Emma's here.
So I want to take the time to publicly thank Emma for putting the another embarrassing picture up.
Oh, the headless woman with the 1980 and 1800s dress on?
Yeah, that was just fantastic.
Adam G is here, which is he's now the only Adam G because I'm Andy tonight.
You are Andy. Yes, I'd like to thank her for doing that.
Yeah, so in case nobody knows, Gio's here. Gio! Or should we call Gio Gianni and call Gianni Gio because it's like on the Barks day?
Because of the spelling and yeah.
So do you want to let her? I mean, sure, everyone here knows already. Do you want to let them know for sure for official?
Yeah. So next Thursday, we will not be doing a show.
What?
Womp womp womp.
Oh, wait.
I know you have something on it somewhere. But good news, we will be doing a special Friday afternoon. It's going to go back to In the Box, I think, unless some sort of grammatical debacle happens this weekend.
Giggity.
I will be in Milwaukee.
No, you won't. For the show, you're going to be in East Troy.
East Troy. with Andy.
With Andy, yes. Andy and Marty in East Troy.
That's right. Andy and Marty in the morning, but it's in the afternoon.
Yeah. So we're looking at like.
So I am doing a show Thursday night when I have a 5:30 a.m. flight is not really good. So we're going to take the night off and do something special Friday afternoon.
So this will be
And for those Wave fans that don't know, we will be at Major Goolsby's,
yeah.
Around 4:00 their time, 5:00 my time, just to hang out and before the Wave Utica game.
And if you can't make halftime, or if you can't make the pregame, we will be in section the platform, the handicap platform, for obvious reasons. Also, Tara Brokerfoot.
I was told I was in the VIP section.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, same thing. Don't worry. We'll be in section 226 on the platform right when you walk in the doors or in the concourse thing, and then we're also meeting behind section 208 at halftime.
And then if anyone, we don't have any plans on Saturday, do we?
You play pool?
Not well.
Playing pool and Impractical Jokers.
All right. Well,
but yeah, if anyone wants to do anything Saturday, we can get together.
Yeah, there's Kansas City Tacoma game at T-Mobile Arena is going to be on. So, just to let Utica fans know, Jack, I know you're in the chat. Yes, I will be at the game on Sunday. So, next Sunday.
This Sunday or Saturday. Wait. When is your next home game?
Sunday. This Sunday.
Oh, it is this Sunday. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong week. Okay, forget it.
Yeah, we have Baltimore this Sunday and then Ontario next Sunday.
Got it. This Sunday, black and blue jersey, medium, and bring it with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of, I mentioned to Matt I had a couple secrets for tonight's show. I want to reveal the my talented wife has been doing crafting for years and did her first jersey thing. So I am revealing the Corn Dog King jersey.
Oh, Jesus.
This is amazing. So now you're gonna have to stare at this for the rest of the show.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, so Gio, you're going to KC. Oh, Friday night. Adam, that's Friday the 21st though, right? Not this Friday, not tomorrow. There's a Bucks game over at the Fiserv Forum, so downtown might be a little crazy, but we'll be there a lot earlier than that.
So I'm hoping. So I know you're all Milwaukee and Milwaukee Bucks are playing my Golden State Warriors right now.
Oh.
Looks pretty bad. I put some money on the game. See now, funny. Sports betting is online sports betting is legal in New York State. Unfortunately, MASL is not on there. But I put a few dollars down on that particular game.
So I have some friends that are may or may not be damn near sports betting professionals, if there is such a thing. And they have scoured their sites and their books, and there is no MASL betting anywhere.
So, Gio, I don't know if you want to do some intel for us and for your own personal enjoyment. Find out if there's sports betting.
Yeah. Someone needs to ask that in the KC next weekend.
And you will be there.
He's going to be there for United Soccer. That's cool.
So is he gonna have a booth?
Just for the Geo booth?
Yeah. It's so when I was in college, they did like a club fair, and they had all of the clubs and everything, and they had nice tables set up and tablecloths and everything. So I was a part of the sci-fi club. So all we had was literally a desk and a piece of paper that said Sci-Fi Club.
Nice.
I could picture that. They have like all of these like tables, like podcast row, and then you see like a desk. It says Geo in the front.
Well, and Geo, don't have anyone from the league do your banner, otherwise they'll spell it wrong. It'll be GOE.
Yeah, Geo.
So I feel like I need to, like, we talked about this pretty early on. So we have a good number of people watching this. So for anyone who didn't,
good. Yeah, bring up my favorite slide.
For those of you who haven't seen it, let's take another look. So, that's the wrong one. So this is what started it all.
No.
The St. Louis Ambuns started everything. From there, we got the Colorado Infierno.
Hey.
And then from there, we go to the Chihuahua Savage. That's just... And then from there, we got...
great.
Fueling Up. I don't know.
It's great because those two teams, we're going to have to pick this game later on in the show.
Yes, we are. And then we have one more. Hang on. Stand by. Looking as fast as I can here. And we have we have On the Barks.
Yes, this was supposed to be the thumbnail for the show tonight, but
I spelled it wrong. With your hosts, Marty and Adam.
Andy.
Oops. Okay.
All right, we got to rewind and start the whole show.
Yep. The Ambuns is my favorite.
So yeah. So there were some games last week. Let's talk about those. Oh.
I made a prediction, and I was 100% correct on the prediction that I made. The Milwaukee Wave went undefeated last weekend.
Good job.
Of course, they didn't play.
Good.
But they went undefeated. So there's that. So that's good news. But we started off the week with the start of a doubleheader, Ambush at Tacoma Stars. Ambuns, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, geez. Greg Locker gets thrown into the mix, and they won, which was
Jeff Locker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Greg Locker. That was pretty good. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but that was pretty good.
No, no, it wasn't on purpose.
Gerg Lockett.
Lockett.
So yeah, they looked dominant the whole game. Tacoma looked lost. I didn't think they looked like a team at all. And then Sunday night they played again. Both had plenty of rest because it was 48 hours later, and the Stars made the AM Buns look like
stale
AM Buns.
Yeah, no one likes a stale AM Bun.
Nick Pereira double hat trick, 6 goals. They won 15-5. That leads me to question: is the Locker experiment over?
No.
Willie B just showed here. We got a picture for Willie B.
Willie B.
We like your artwork that you did on the Heat misspelling there. Wait, are you 14 minutes behind, but you're chatting in real time?
All the Harrisburg Heat players right now.
He's what?
He's probably watching the show with like the Harrisburg Heat players.
Probably.
Like Dom and Elton and Danny DePrima.
But is he watching live, or is he watching 14 minutes behind but chatting live?
I don't know. I can't see chat, so I just.
Oh, because I barely remember what I said 14 seconds ago, much less 14 minutes ago.
Right.
All right. Well, he'll get to that. So anyway, is the Jeff Locker experiment over? I think it's obviously too early to tell, but
yep,
that was a.
I think give them a few games. I mean, they play the Chihuahua Savage.
Yeah.
I know they play. Oh, they play Utica in February, and I'm sure they've got some Kansas City, Milwaukee games kind of sprinkled in.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if they did have a head coach by the beginning of February. That's my prediction.
It was a really interesting because it's both games were a tale of two teams.
Yeah.
Because they basically just flip-flopped, although the ass kicking was much worse on Sunday night.
The only bad thing about the game on Sunday is if you look at the standings right now, Tacoma and Utica are tied for 8th. But the first tiebreaker is goal differential. And Tacoma's got like 8. and Utica slightly less than 8.
Is that based on the real rankings, the power rankings, or whatever Juan's doing?
It is whatever Juan's doing.
Okay. So those are the actual standings.
Oh, yes.
The power standings.
The power standings.
The standing rankings based on power.
Yes.
Okay. So from there we went Heat at the Blast.
I got to tell you, so, I mean, Willie's in the chat, and I talked to him right after the game. I don't think, and I'm saying this just non-biased, I think, yeah, he did give up a few goals, but he kept them in that game. I think he should have been Defensive Player of the Week.
I don't think they're ever going to give Defensive Player of the Week to a team that lost, though.
I know.
But I would agree.
Yeah. Yeah, Hugo Silva, 2 goals, whatever. But Willie stood on his head.
Yep.
The entire game.
I thought it was like he was going to run away with it at the first half, but then you look at the stats and they scored, 5 goals on 9 shots or something?
Yeah, Baltimore tends to be a second half team.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen this a few times this year already, where they're down.
Yeah.
Case in point, game 2 for Utica. Utica was up at halftime, should have been 3-1, but they bounced right back with 5 unanswered goals and took it.
Yeah.
And pretty much same thing happened against Harrisburg.
Bunswacker says, Buns need a coach. Andy, come coach us. No. That's not a good... I don't know what I'm doing. If you need coaching and like how to do your broadcast, I'm there. Although you guys have no problems, so... I feel like I've done my job there already throughout the last 2 years of on the Barks. So anyway, that I think the Heat have a lot of promise. I don't know if it'll come this season, but I think as they get used to things, it'll happen.
I hope it happens this weekend.
So then Comets at the Sidekicks, and the Comets played exactly how I expected them would, and the Dallas Sidekicks played exactly how I thought they would before, like 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And they had their 3-game
Yeah,
run.
I mean, that game was kind of predictable in a way. I mean, Kansas City was definitely the better team. It kind of knocked Dallas down a peg.
Yep.
But we'll see how they bounce back this week.
Yes, we will. Get to that. Then the game you probably don't want to talk about, Utica at Florida.
No, I would love to talk about it.
Utica at Florida wasn't as, like, we talked at halftime, and you said that if it was what, 2-2 I think at halftime.
Yes.
And you said, like, if they lose like 2-3 or 3-4, 4-5, you'd be happy because they played a good game. And I said, yeah, what you don't want is you don't want them to give give up 5 goals.
Yeah.
And not score anymore, and instead they give up 4 and didn't score.
I thought it was a great game for Utica. I mean, they definitely showed a lot more hustle, a lot more. They played with a lot more effort. And I mean, going up against Hugo Silva and Florida, I mean, they still made a few defensive mistakes. Florida pounced on it. Am I mad? No.
Yeah,
I posed this question to the Keepers Corners podcast, and I'll bring this up again later. But Utica needs to start winning some of these games if they want to even sniff playoffs.
Yep.
And that's a game that they could have won, but they lost gas in the fourth quarter.
It's a more common theme this season than it has been in previous seasons of just losing in the fourth quarter, running out of gas in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I think kind of similar to, opposite of Baltimore, Utica is not really like a good third quarter team, and I can kind of say a second half team. I mean, the debacle against Kansas City a couple of years ago, giving up 5 goals to Baltimore game 2. So I think we have yet to see a full 60 minutes from Utica.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I would agree with that. We'll have to just see. So far, they haven't been like wildly inconsistent. So it looks like there's things that they can improve on that they're kind of just. But how do you gauge against Florida when they're so good?
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to make the playoffs by beating a team like I'm sorry to say a team like Harrisburg. You're not gonna make the playoffs by beating that team over and over again.
You have to go
on something else.
You have to go into some of these games like Florida and not just say, "Well, we're not going to win this one." You're going to have some expectation of winning.
Yep.
And then to end the weekend, end our games, Fury at the Sockers.
Wow. I mean,
this was one of the better games I've seen, with the exception of what the Sockers did in the second half, where they just sat back and just did nothing. They tried to sit on a slight lead, and it just didn't work.
I didn't watch a lot of the game, but I did listen to Striking Fury this morning on my way to work. I did actually see the overtime goal, which was crazy. I mean, how that happened.
I was this far away. In fact, I had part of the message written to Robert Palmer congratulating him on his game winner. And then the Sockers do what the Sockers... And then I deleted it. I'm like, well, the game isn't over yet. The Sockers are the Sockers, so who knows what's going to happen here. And sure enough, they tie it up with not a lot of time left. But to watch them win in overtime was, I think it's definitely redemption from last season. Now they'll still need to do it again when playoff time comes around, but
yeah. Well, we get to predict another Ontario San Diego game this week. So yeah.
Yeah, I have a bunch of stuff to say about that when we get to our next topic. But those are all the games. Let's get to our next topic.
Okay, cool.
So Alec asks, any thoughts on San Diego's attendance? 2 games in a row below 1,000.
Yes.
So when I brought this up, and when you brought this up, Alec, both of us were kind of lambasted about lambast a word? Lambasting.
Lambaste.
Yeah, that works. Lambast. How do the British say it?
Blast.
Lamblasted.
Lamblast.
Okay, yeah, lamblasted. I like it. Or blarst in this week's edition of On the Barks. The Baltimore Blarst. That could be catchy.
I like it.
Yeah. We were both kind of lit up by Sockers fans saying, "Oh, COVID this, COVID that, COVID this." Now, I'm not making any light of this because I'm, you know where I stand on the whole COVID debate. But it was all excuses. And then in maybe another group, I saw a comment out about the Wave haven't won anything and they only got less than 2,000 people. Are they in trouble? Well, wait a minute. Why can't we have excuses on why our attendance is so low, even though it's double what yours is? So I didn't want to compare it to that. Willie B is 8 minutes behind now. They were out to eat. He started over. He's chatting 8 minutes behind us now. Willie B, welcome from the future.
Yes.
Everything is 8 minutes later here. Or something.
We should ask Ken what
Right.
what is going on.
What goes on tomorrow so we can let Willie B know so he knows 8 minutes earlier than he would have if... Okay. Time travel confuses me.
Willie B, don't get the dessert. There.
Well, and Alec has a good point. Plus, the Wave actually had that number of people. San Diego's number looked dubious. So this goes back into the whole thing of I think the Wave is the only team that reports the actual scanned tickets at the door count. And we've had that talk with many people before, and a lot of people doubt that, but that's the count that they're getting. They started that when Zimmerman first came in.
Does.
What's that?
I don't know what Utica does. So
Utica's probably close.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you're looking at San Diego. I think it's a COVID thing, to be completely honest with you. I think their numbers are going up. But we'll see what happens later on in the season, and then if there's a pattern, then you're looking at, and I hate to say this, but attendance wise, it's the Florida of the West.
San Diego has done this with their attendance. Now, granted, there was this spike in there, but it's gone downhill the whole time.
Well, they need to get like Landon Donovan back, or
they need to get Landon Donovan back. They're I think part of it, there's a lot of actual COVID cases, and there are a lot of people who want to avoid it because of the COVID cases that are going on.
Right.
I think I heard Craig Ellison say I don't remember which game this was, but there were 50% paid ticket no-shows in one of the games, which is just insane.
Yeah.
It's one thing to just not go and have the attendance down because you didn't buy it, and not buy a ticket in that whole thing. But to have like half of your paid tickets not show up, that's crazy. So I hope, and we were gonna end up going out to San Diego anyway, or we're not gonna go anyway. But coworker who lives in San Diego was like, yeah, it's bad out here with COVID again. I was wondering if you were even gonna come out because of that. And I'm like, well, we're not coming out, but not because of that. But that would just play into it even more.
Yeah, I hopefully maybe maybe I can go out and get some answers or just see kind of what's going on when I go out there in a couple weeks.
Yeah. So Jack says Utica does tickets sold, but the tickets sold to people in the seats numbers are usually pretty close. And I think tickets sold is a valid number. You know, there's attendance and tickets sold. There isn't this like what there shouldn't be is this like magic number of like tickets printed or tickets given, because a lot of these teams will, they'll say each of my sponsors gets 100 tickets and we're counting those as attendance, even though each sponsor may bring 2 people a game. The teams are counting those as things.
So speaking of Utica real quick, I'm going to go off topic. Jack, do you happen to have a contact to someone in the? Well, I have a contact, but I want a cowbell. They're giving away cowbells in the beer garden this Saturday. Yeah, and I think it'd be kind of cool to have a Utica City cowbell. So
Matt just said they missed their chance playing Ibrahimovic, and he was playing for the Galaxy. Then Emma said she had a very long conversation with someone on the. Well, what's that? If we're on the Barks, would the other group be off the wire? On the wire?
They mostly are anyways, but
yeah, but she had a conversation about someone about playing during COVID, and it wasn't very productive. She thinks he was a Blarst fan. And Kevin says,
well.
Yeah, Kevin says Turlock can't even win an M2. They got pounded by Ontario 2 in a YMCA gym. Total embarrassment.
I saw the score. It was like I saw 10 the score. 2. Yeah. I'm like, dang.
Jack says he'll see what he can do. Mo says contacts don't work there. Bunswacker wants to know if I'm coming for.
I'll ask Tommy, see if.
Yeah, he wants to know if I'm coming there for an Ambuns game. So, I don't know what we're gonna do. We have a lot of money in airline tickets we have to use by November. I'm hoping that there'd be like a Wave Ontario or a Wave San Diego playoff game, and we can use those to go out there.
What if it's a Wave Utica playoff game?
Then you can come here and give you the ticket. Wait, no. Yeah, no, I think the whole point was we wanted to go somewhere warm.
Well, it gets warm in April. It's fine. It's spring.
But yeah, there's a number of places we'd like to go: Utica, Ontario, San Diego, KC.
What if it's Milwaukee, Florida?
I wouldn't want to ruin their attendance count by showing up with that many people. Both of us.
It would be great. No, it would be great though. We would listen to the broadcast and just hear someone screaming for 60 minutes. Fix your turf. Fix your turf.
Corn dog.
Wait. Who am I? Pereiras. To the 10. To the 5. Shot a goal.
Goal. He goes crazy, yeah. All right, yeah.
What's our next topic?
Next topic is the goalkeeper rule. So, the refs missed a goalkeeper rule in the KC Dallas game right before the second goal. But what really I wanted to talk about was Nate Abarea talking about the goalkeeper rule. Now, Nate's announcing style is unique and it's fairly annoying, but I have to admit he's very good at it, and he and Craig make a great team. But that said, I don't want to pick on this specifically being Nate. Let's say any announcer did this. Nate ragged on the goalkeeper rule like all second half of that game. Or I should say all third quarter. Because what they do in San Diego is Nate does the play-by-play for the third quarter, and then Craig does it for first, second, and fourth. And then they alternate doing play-by-play in color. And for the entire third quarter, Nate ragged on the goalkeeper rule. He said it was silly. He said he didn't understand why they did it. It didn't make any sense because it made people have to change. And now, why I don't disagree with anything that he said, even how often he said it, I didn't disagree with any of that. It seems like if we have a player in the league get suspended one game for 3 Facebook posts that are now gone and we're only up for 2 days, what are we doing about the broadcasters talking about this rule? Like Keith Tozer, what are we doing? putting this out to you. I know you won't watch this. Saying that anyway. So that I found that interesting. And he kept saying, "Nope, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut." But then he went on and he said some stuff that was way over the top what Josh Lemos said in his Facebook post. So
I think it's kind of an eyesore on the league. So sort of him saying what his thoughts are on the goalkeeper rule. I mean, their job is to promote the sport, right, and to make it more exciting. When you sit there and complain about a rule that you have no control over, I mean, for a person tuning in for the first time, be like, "Oh my God, this guy's just whiny. He's whining about something." Like,
in all fairness, they would say that if they saw him broadcast the normal one anyway. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's not like, hang on. Willie B just wrote something I don't really understand. He says, "They Krispy Kreme out here, so I'm a gone your hubes."
Oh, Krispy Kreme.
Yeah,
we're talking. So he's talking about donuts.
Yeah, but I don't know what we were talking about at the time that he would have seen that.
No, I said don't get the dessert.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So they had there was a Krispy Kreme in Syracuse, but now I think the closest one's like in Pennsylvania or something like that. And Willie B's New Year's resolution was to stop eating donuts.
Got it. Okay.
So we had a conversation one day, and we were talking about donuts, and I told him that Hannah loves donuts. Well, and she thought it was silly that he was giving up donuts.
They're Circle Cakes.
Yeah. And he's like, "Well, what kind of donuts did you have?" And I go, "Well, Hannah had chocolate, Henry had vanilla, and I had maple icing." And of course, being Willie B, was like, "Oh my gosh, maple sounds disgusting." Kind of like, "Gee, thanks."
Yeah. That's Willie B, though. You could have said, like, the best combination ever. So Emma said, "I think the player punishment was for the use of the F word." What is the F word on the Barks night?
Fart.
Right, yeah. But so what happened was, I think we talked about this. He wrote a reply to Juan in Spanish, and Facebook's translator effed up the translation and made it sound like he said they are effing the game, when that's really not what the translation meant. It meant something more like changing. And I think that's what happened. And he sent them translations through like Google Translate, which it came out something else. And they're like, "No, that's too bad." Alex says something that's interesting. He said hasn't noticed too much of a difference in play with the rule outside of fans being confused a few times it has been called. I don't think that's correct. And I noticed it very, very specifically in the Ontario game. Ontario really struggled with the goalkeeper rule. They got it called on them 2 or 3 times. They had a number of times the defender, you could tell. Remember when I said the defender is going to have to, like, you can watch them pause as they go, like, "Oh crap, I can't do this anymore." That happened a dozen times. And most of the time they were skilled enough to be able to get out of it. But there were a couple scoring chances given up because they were about to pass back to going, like, "Oh crap, I can't." And they turned around and the guy was on them already. And it's not like they're not going to be able to get around that. I mean, they obviously won the game and they played fantastic. But that was when I first noticed the team really, really, really struggled with that rule.
I think Utica did too in both of the games.
Yeah, I don't think Milwaukee did as much, but that's because the whole team is new. And it's like the whole team came in new, not ever playing with each other. And this rule came in and it was like, well, we got all this other new stuff. Just pile this on top of it. So Kevin says, "Go back to the old rule. Let defenders pass back to the goalkeeper if you want that way. Who cares?" Reminds me of having to explain NPSL rules to newbies. And that was one thing that we talked about when this first came up back in June or July or whatever it was, that just like simplify the game. Don't make it more complex. And this rule, like, oh yeah, well, the goalkeepers can't go past the midfield until the fourth quarter. Trying to explain that to a non-soccer person, that makes no sense. They got rid of that, obviously fine, but now it's like, oh yeah, you can't pass back to the goalkeeper anymore after they touch it. And then the guy rolls out the ball and they pass back to the goalkeeper, and the person goes, well, I thought you said, oh yeah, no, unless they use their hands to roll it. And then somebody else, it clips off their hand, they're not their hand, but their thigh, and they pass it back. Like, I thought you told me they couldn't. Oh, it hit the other guy. Well, how do you know? It was happened so fast. It's like, well, yeah. And MS has talked to some goalies. The format has changed. The format of the defense has changed completely.
It's bollocks.
Alex says, if you had to choose, would you go with this rule or the midfield rule? I would go with neither. Mark Litton had a
you can't cop out like that.
On the Barks, we make our own rules as we go.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Well, then if that's the case, I'm going to say 2 points for a goal, 3 points outside of the arc.
There's no arc.
It's on the Barks.
On the Barks.
We do whatever we want.
Outside of the Barks.
That's right. We're thinking outside of the Barks.
What I would do is I would do what Mark Litton was when they first changed the goalkeeper rule. We were talking about this, and actually no, maybe it was even later. And he said, "Let the goalies do whatever they want. Just give them the 4-second rule for the entire field, wherever they are. They can only hold it for 4 seconds, no matter where they are on the field."
I would say midfield. If I had to pick one, I'd say midfield rule. I think the goalie rule is kind of, and you mentioned this last week, I think it's kind of hindering teams offensively. Yep. More so the Eastern teams, I think, than the West. It's kind of interesting to see, like, Tacoma scoring 15 goals and Ontario and San Diego combining for 15 goals. Meanwhile, you've got 6-3. And 6-2.
Even KC against Dallas, KC was only attacking with 4, and they were keeping the fifth guy like in midfield or so. They're just faster and better at it than everyone else, so that they got away with it. Yeah, I don't like either rule. I think there's some other things they can do. Jay had an interesting comment that I've been thinking about a while. He said, make it like basketball, where once they pass midfield, they can't go back past midfield. That sounded interesting to me, but I don't know if it'll work in soccer. I also thought of an idea of giving them a certain amount of time to get to midfield or past the yellow line or something. But then again, we're adding more weird rules and counts and things refs have to keep control of.
Before you know it, you're going to have a 30-second shot clock, and it's just going to...
See, that I don't necessarily mind either. But when we had Coach Jules on, he said straight out, he goes, that completely changes our plan, because we would like to get up by 2 or 3 goals and then play keep away, essentially. And right. I mean, it was no secret. It's not like it's a secret game plan. That's what Baltimore did a lot, and that's what a lot of teams did. Use the goalkeeper, use the skills that you have. I mean, it would be like saying, all right, if you are a forward in the league, Ian Bennett, Frank Tayu, Nick Pereira, and many others that I won't name because I don't want to leave anyone out, you can't shoot the ball more than 5 times a game because you're too good at it. Leo Gibson, another one we'll throw in there. You guys, because they have been the top of the points scorers for the last number of years. So you guys are no longer able to shoot the ball more than 5 times a game, 3 times a quarter, 2 times a half, whatever. Make some arbitrary thing up. And once you get to your 5, then it's a free kick. If you take your 6th shot, it's a free kick for the other team wherever you took it from. Kind of feel that's how this rule is implemented.
Yeah.
Now, Emma says she can't remember what she's agreeing with.
I think, and I kind of want to go back to what I said before, like when this rule started. Like, I don't like having defenders pass back to the goalie, who pass back to the defender, who pass back to the goalie, back and forth and back and forth.
Agreed. Yeah.
At the same time, the goalkeeper rule is the complete opposite end of the spectrum, and it's something that's kind of hindering on a lot of things. So, like, get someone like a fourth referee who's just sitting in the box. Have a limit. You can pass it back 4 times. After that, go for it.
Problem with that is that now the teams still have to pay attention. Because right now the teams are having problems paying attention if they passed it back once. Then they're going to have to all count. Now, how many has it been? Has it been 3 or has it been 4? Bam, somebody just hit me in the face. I don't know where I am. Has it been 3 or has it been 4? You know.
Well, maybe have like the fourth referee like hold up the number 3 or something like that, and have the like one of the main referees just yell like 3 or something like that.
You could have lights in the turf that would light up as soon as they hit.
Yes.
I like that. But anyway,
like
so that's my thoughts on the goalkeeping rule. I think we'll talk about this every week until there's nothing to talk about anymore.
Right.
Let's take a quick time out.
Okay.
And pay attention here.
Now would be a great time for a timeout. Now, back to them.
And now, back to them. For those of you who didn't hear it, let's do it one more time.
Now would be a great time for a timeout. Now, back to them.
So those are my 2 surprises, Eric and the King corn dog shirt.
That's hilarious.
That's all I got. You have reached the high point of this broadcast. Everything else goes downhill from here.
Yeah, it's gonna go downhill. So if you want to watch paint dry or something, you might find that more entertaining.
I saw a band play, and I can't remember. I can't remember who it was, and when it was. And they're like, "Oh, that was our most exciting song. So if you're expecting to get any better now, I don't want to let you down. So go to the bathroom and get something to eat or something right now." And the sad thing is, he was right.
Yeah.
So, goalkeeper.
Hopefully that's not right with us.
Yeah. So Gio says coach needs to show how high press works better than a low block, and you'll see a change. But kind of, Gio, that goes back to what you were saying back when you were part of our family before you left us and got all mad and left us and started to be more of a Belarst media guy about how the league shouldn't tell teams how to coach the play. The league should be there to tell, set rules on guidelines and things, but they shouldn't say, this is how we want you to play. But, and then Emma says the goalkeepers are allowed to interact with the team and play. Now they cannot. I understand why they're upset, why the whole game plan has to change. Yep. Oh, Willie B must be caught up a little bit more. He says, my opinion of the rule, once the ball gets over the yellow, they can go back to the keeper once, unlimited before that. Oh. That's interesting. So kind of like the Willie no over and back.
Willie B coming up with great ideas.
Is it? Wasn't that like the over and back rule? Once it went past the yellow, you couldn't go back?
Yeah, I think that's back. Yeah, I think that's back NPSL days, maybe.
So, but what about that? But you can still pass back to defenders if you need. That would fix it. Just can't go past the goalie after it goes over the yellow line. Until all the rules that are in place.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. All
right, let's do that from now on. Starting now.
All right.
Oh, wait. The username LNVHEWPVF says VUM.ONG. Thank you for your valued contribution. Remove. Okay.
No, I think that's a great opinion, and I mean it's a part of On the Barks.
Actually, that fits in really well for our show here.
Yeah, they were probably trying to spell "Go Blast," and it came out that.
It's not even a link you can click. I don't know what this is supposed to be. I'm sure it's supposed to be some spam site or something, but hell. All right. We will take this time to remind you to help us improve our numbers by hitting the subscribe button. Bunswacker says "am buns." So there's that. Yeah, click like, subscribe, do all the YouTube hokey pokey, and I feel like we should
But
have.
don't really turn yourself about unless you're confident in doing so. We don't want any injuries from
Right. Especially if you have a chair and you have walls that have pointy corners on them that can attract knees. That's not good.
Right. Yes.
So, power rankings for the broadcasts. So this week was really interesting.
I thought this week was not bad.
Well,
I mean, Florida was Florida, but
we had a lot of changes. So the first change I made is I moved Harrisburg back down. I went back and watched part of the Harrisburg game, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is a hot mess. So I dropped them down to 7th. Because of that, Milwaukee, Ontario, San Diego moved up 1 by default. Ontario, based on the fact that San Diego still hasn't fixed their clipping issues, I moved them below Ontario for now. Dallas went up 2 points, but they still have a lot of issues. And Dallas didn't really move up as much as Tacoma moved down. So Dallas has Matt Thornton as lead announcer now. Who
I don't know if he's lead announcer. I think I haven't seen anything on his Facebook page that he's going to be doing it again.
Okay.
So, I mean, if he stays lead announcer, then I think that's a win for Dallas.
It seemed like he had a prop bet going where he had to pronounce everybody's name a little bit wrong, which is like perfect for our theme for our show tonight on the Barks. But it was just weird, especially when it was Adam Jones instead of Adam James. But yeah, he got every KC player's name just a little bit wrong. And it was almost like he was trying. Camera work's still bad. Blurry doesn't really follow the ball well. And my favorite part of the game was when the color guy was not paying attention to the game. He was watching the replay of just a foul. And they scored a goal, and he's like, oh, did we get one? So that was the highlight of the game for me. But because of Tacoma, they moved up 2 spots.
Where was that? I missed that one. Do you remember where that was? Was it Kansas City or Dallas goal?
Dallas goal.
Okay.
Because he said, oh, we got
so
one.
It shouldn't be that hard.
I think it was their third and final goal.
Okay.
Because it was later in the game. So they're at 8th. Baltimore's still at 9th. I think they fixed the sync issue. It wasn't as obvious as it usually is, so I think they did. I think they fixed that, but there's still some clipping going on. Granted, not as bad as San Diego's. But then the camera guy, he kept trying to focus on things like either like in the box.
Giggity.
Or I love that.
Giggity.
Giggity.
He was focusing like either on the box or on the bench or something, but he could never focus in on whatever he was focusing in on. So it would be like really blurry, and he'd zoom in and he'd zoom out and he'd do this and he'd do that, and then they would just switch to the other camera. And then they had like some weird sound things that sounded like somebody was like plugging in a live cable and unplugging it the whole time. So I decided not to bump them up any because I didn't think they deserved it. And then we have Tacoma. Let's say this, if Florida didn't have even more issues than they usually do, Tacoma would have taken dead last this week. And keep in mind, this is not I don't have a rule that you can only move up a certain amount of places or down in a week. Like, if you have the worst broadcast of the week, you're going all the way to the bottom. If you have the best, you're going all the way to the top. And I'll change that every single week. It's not like a playing power rankings where we think even if you have a bad week, you still have the potential to do well, so you stay in your place or whatever. So the first game on Friday, Tacoma's video was so bad that it would pause every couple seconds. and then just pick up where I left off. And that
It was fun to watch.
That was rough to watch. They started the game where they showed the kickoff, and then for some reason they just showed a blank screen with Tacoma logo on it. And then we almost missed a scoring chance by St. Louis right away. And then they kept talking about it during the game, but no one ever saw it because they didn't replay it or they never showed it or anything. At one point in the they came back from a break, either second quarter break or halftime or whatever, and the color guy's mic wasn't on, but they still kept having him talk. It took him like 5 minutes to fix it. In game 2, the leg pause issue was fixed, but the video was much more blurry than it usually is. And then they had this weird camera angle in the goal, and I think you've mentioned a couple of times, where you can't see anything. It's like it's the perfect angle where you can't see the goalie or the person shooting the ball or the ball. And they keep focusing, like they go to it on a top of the arc restart, and you can't see anything that's going on at all.
Yeah, it's the weirdest angle.
And then my biggest problem is like if they would stay with their main overhead angle, it would be perfect. Not too far away, it's not too close, but they insist on zooming in on it like 4 times. And then they can't follow the ball because the camera doesn't move as fast or whatever. And I'm thinking of doing a replay or like a redo of that goalie song, where instead of let the goalies kick the ball, it's going to be point the camera at the ball. Camera at the ball, you know. So Willie B says, Harrisburg normal announcer wasn't there that game. I demand a revote. The cool thing about this is as soon as Harrisburg has another home game, they have a chance to jump way up on the rankings. I'm not gonna be like, it's not gonna be more of a cumulative. It's gonna be a week after week kind of thing. But then in the fourth quarter of the Tacoma game, the second game, they had some weird laggy like frame rate slowdown issue going on for like 10 minutes of the game. So they had dropped 4 places. They're down to 10th. And then we have our friends in.
Speaking of creepy goalie camera angles.
Speaking of creepy goalie camera angles, so if you look at Florida's, like people who have been in Florida or people who watch the normal broadcast, Florida's jerseys are orange and white. Their seats are reddish orange. But when you go to the goal cam, well, everything's blue. I showed it to Tara, and she's like, what? She's like, are their seats blue? And I'm like, no. In this camera angle, they are. But in this other camera angle, they're red. But over here, they're blue.
Is it
Drew
like
Ruggles,
a heat? Is it like a heat sensor?
I think it's like one of those the Predator camera things where he's looking
Yeah,
for
the heat sensor. And they like, if it's blue, that means no one's there.
Yeah, so Drew Ruggles he joined a biker gang and he wore his new headband for the biker gang.
Yeah.
And that was bright blue from that camera. And I'm like, wait, and then I first saw that and I'm like, why does everything have a blue tint to it? I'm like, why are the seats blue? What is going on here? And I don't know how they did that.
At least you had a picture.
You know what? I didn't grab one because I didn't want to go back and depress myself by looking at it. But I'll grab, if they do it again, I'll grab that for next time. I just don't have one handy and I don't feel like scrolling through a game. I could do a timeout and look for it, but that's not. So Alex says white balance issue. I don't know, man. I think it was, in fact, I think, no, let's not. I was going to do a timeout and go grab the video, but we're already an hour in, so let's not do that. I think it was worse than a white balance to the point where it was either like someone did this to the saturation or the color knob, or something's completely broken on the camera. I don't think it was just I don't think white balance would make something that was red be blue. That seems like a total miss. If you take the slider and you're in the hue and you go all the way to the right instead of the left or whatever.
Yes.
But they had their video got worse. So they used to, like, remember when the first game last season when we were lucky if we even got a picture, their video was just horrible. They fixed that, and their video was really crisp and clear, which was great because you could see the turf in all its glory. But it got worse. Something happened. Something got undone. That if it's a still image, it looked fine, but as soon as it moved, like the motion blur was really bad. And then the volume levels are all over the place. The volumes changed throughout the broadcast. The commercial volumes are way louder than everything else. Eric said the Florida's color announcing game is really strong, guys. Yes, I agree. I would prefer there was less of back in my day we did this, but it's a good contrast.
Robbie Aristodemo's been around. He's been around the league for a while, so his insight is great.
Yeah.
The Brian Ackley, and I was listening to this on the way home. So Utica, for those of you that don't know New York State, Syracuse is basically smack dab in the middle of New York State. Utica is east, so it'd be over on this way. Yeah. So when I think it was Moises Gonzalez hit a ball, it was over the thing. Brian Ackley decided to do his famous halfway to ... And he said the town named Salamanca. Salamanca, New York is nowhere near Utica. It is actually near Buffalo, New York.
So
which is on the other side of the state.
So he really hit it bad.
I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to make it a little more interesting for Utica fans, and he did have a couple of interesting things to say about Utica and New York State, but his geography was slightly off.
What would be really creepy is if he said, "Well, that one went halfway to, and wherever it was where you were driving at the time."
Then I'd look up and be like, "Where is that?"
Yeah, pull over to the side of the road and just, okay, we got to stop for a while.
Well, he did mention Oswego, which is pretty much 5 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
He was talking about how it was a hotbed of soccer. I'm like, I don't know a lot of really good soccer players from New York State, but
in January.
Yeah. This is definitely a hotbed for soccer.
Yeah. So that's it for broadcast power ranking. Stay tuned next week until we we still won't have a Chihuahua broadcast. When is Chihuahua's first game?
I don't know.
They haven't had a home game yet.
All I know is, Utica does have one home game in February.
Chihuahua's first home game is... it is next weekend. Friday, the 21st. Oh, we can do that. You can get on a 5:30 a.m. flight. We can fly to Milwaukee. We can do a show. We can go to Major Goolsby's. We can watch a Wave game, and then we can come home and watch the San Diego at Chihuahua game at 9 p.m. Eastern. You just stay up the whole weekend.
Oh, yeah. And then
the next weekend,
fly back Sunday. Get in my car, drive straight to Utica.
Yeah. There's a sound effect.
2:00 kickoff.
There's a sound effect for that.
Yeah. It's gonna feel like a baseball hitting me in the head.
Yeah. So one of the Tacoma guys wanted me to mention their power plays or their penalty kill stats. I don't know how many shorthanded. So they were shorthanded 9 times and they've killed off every single one. They have a perfect 1,000 record or 100% penalty kill record, and they've scored 2 shorthanded goals. Now, they've also allowed 2 shorthanded goals, but their penalty kill is a .571, which is still pretty damn good.
Right.
We got that out of the way. We mentioned that.
All right, good. That was good.
The only other thing I had is the picks for next week. Do you have anything else you wanted to? talk about?
No, I can't think of anything else.
All right, so fortunately, there's only 700 games for next week, so we can
All
do
right,
this
perfect. We might as well start now, and
be done by next week.
yeah.
First game, Friday, tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern. No, 7 p.m. Why don't I just read the time that it says? I translated the time that it's at Eastern. I'm going to do this all in Eastern time because that seems to be what the website has changed. So 7 p.m. Eastern, Heat at Florida, because Florida somehow gets like 9 home games in a row. And then they also play Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Sweep?
Yeah.
Sorry,
unfortunately, I would like to see Florida lose. Harrisburg did play really well against Baltimore. I was kind of hoping Harrisburg was going to play keep away that second half, but that didn't happen. I think if Harrisburg is to have a chance, their defense does need to step up. It can't be just Willie.
Well, yeah.
But at the same time, I think Florida's going to sweep, unfortunately.
I would love to see Florida unsweep every game.
Right.
Bunswacker says Heat sweep. Eric says, Willie B, you should block and report them. This is a segment of the game where everyone gets
the segment of the show where everyone comes at us.
So next game, 7:35 p.m. Eastern, Chihuahua Savage visits the Milwaukee Wave.
Wow, you've already picked your team or picked that game.
So Milwaukee fans, Derek Huffman will be back, or should be back. In fact, let me check the. We do a little segment for the injury report this week, and
well, while you get that up, I'll give you my pick.
I know your pick.
Milwaukee fans, rejoice! You're going to get your first win.
KC and San Diego have their injury reports up. Out for KC is our friend Nick McDonald. Health and safety protocols. Nick, hope you feel better. Henry Ramirez, right knee out for the season. We talked about that last week. Hopefully he heals up fast. And then Neto is probable with a right groin strain. That didn't really stop him last week, so I expect him to play. Doubtful for San Diego are Brian Farber and Felipe. Brian did play in the last game, and he looked pretty good. He was limping a little bit. And then questionable are Craig Childs, Ortega, Cesar Cerda, Sean Callahan, and Brandon Escoto.
They were questionable last week too. So
and they all played, yeah. So it's going to take a lot to get Craig Childs off the field in a game. So my thoughts on Chihuahua at the Wave. I saw something that Juan posted that Chihuahua was having visa issues getting players into the U.S. So that may be good. Chihuahua just signed, what's his name, Borrega, head coach of Monterey Flash. He's listed as like a technical assistant, which means that there's just more firepower behind this team. Willie B says, I already blocked Hubes on everything. He keeps messaging me from Hannah's accounts.
It's true.
I mean, you got to get around the system somehow.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what I did, but I mean, he sat there and goes, "Oh, you're my fave, Hubes," and "Oh, Hubes this and Hubes that," and all of a sudden it's completely different. So
I like it better this way, kind of. And I know you do too.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
So I'm stalling here, by the way. Bunswacker says Wave win. I'm very, very, very worried because I don't think I've seen. Well, I'm sure we haven't seen the Wave play a full game yet this season. They've had a couple close ones, but they've given up some weird goals. They've had a lot of breakaways. Chihuahua has the ability to just run down the field all game and shoot from everywhere, and that may be a problem for the defense. But if the Wave can get their offense synced with the addition of Derek Huffman, I think they can win. I'm going to pick the Wave. I'm going to go against Alec.
Yeah.
I'm picking the Wave, and not only because I'm a Wave fan, because I've picked against them already this season, so I think I've proven that. But I think 2 weeks off, it's supposed to be decent weather tomorrow. It is a Friday night game, and it is kind of early. It's 6:30, so it's hard to get downtown in time, but I think it'll be a decent crowd. And after not having a game for 2 weeks, I think they can pull it off. I think it'll be close. But I think this also has the I wouldn't be surprised if it's a domination from one side or the other. There's that.
Right.
Next game is the Baltimore Blast visiting Dallas at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Larst?
Yeah. I'm going to take Baltimore. Dallas, do your darndest. Take this game to, well, it doesn't really matter because we've seen what happens. But
yeah,
do the best you can. Maybe have someone get a couple players get red cards.
I like where you're going.
But yeah, I think the luster of Dallas is still there, but I think it's kind of going away a little bit.
Willie B says I like Hubes. I don't know about this Marty guy. Kind of annoying.
Marty, hello, fly.
I am too hoping for a long game. Triple overtime. No, they don't have that anymore. Because that'll come up in just a minute. But yeah, I think Baltimore gets this one fairly easily. But then again, Dallas has been a team that we don't know who's going to show up.
I would say like 7-5.
Yeah,
ish.
I'm good with that. Next game, still Friday night. Jeez, Friday night's going to be a busy night. KC at St. Louis, 8:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At the Family Arena.
The thing that sucks is tomorrow I have to work until 9 o'clock.
Thought you got out of that.
I'm going to be missing. Huh?
Thought you got out of all that. You're working.
Well, I'm helping out another store.
I don't help out another store. What, they can fend for themselves. I mean, always help your fellow man. And
yeah, I know. Yeah. But St. Louis is beating who this week?
Not. I don't think anyone.
Oh, okay. Well, you said Kansas City.
Kansas City.
I'm waiting for every Kansas City Comets player to jump in and be like, all right.
Right. Oh, so Alex says, to be clear, any games you predicted wrong this week are just him joining the graphics mistakes festivities. That's fair.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, blame it on the graphics.
Yeah.
So if a team loses, be like, oh my gosh, I didn't mean to do that.
Right. I was totally, like, I didn't talk about the Wave winning for 5 minutes. I was totally wrong on that.
Yeah.
On the Barks.
Kansas City.
By a lot. Me too. Wave at Dallas, 1:30 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. This game got pushed back 2 or 3 hours. I think 2 hours. Those of you planning on watching it, it's 12:30 our time in Milwaukee. Actually, in Dallas's time too, because they're Central Time.
What day is that? Sunday?
Sunday.
There's no Saturday games? Dang.
There are no Saturday games. There must be something going on. Is there NFL playoff football going on?
Well, Saturday and Sunday is the wild card round.
Stupid.
But yeah.
He watches that crap.
Milwaukee Wave fans, you're going to get your second win.
Oh boy,
on Sunday.
We're screwed. I picked Dante picks the Colorado Inferno. Hey Dante, how's it going? He also picked the Lancers to win this weekend too.
Of course, yeah. Go.
So I'm good. Yeah, Lancers win. I'm good at that.
Lancers win, and we all get Donuts Delight, which Willie B can't have. Ha ha! Take that, Willie B.
So Willie B, if you're ever in Rochester, you have to get.
Oh, he knows.
God.
He was the outdoor goalie for the Lancers.
But has he had the cannoli donut?
Probably.
Like, have you had the cannoli donut? Because the cannoli. Oh my God. I would ask to get shipped, but they're way too money. So, I don't know if this is a surprise or not, but Bunswacker chooses the M buns. So does James. Oh, he's there all the time. Even this year after 2021, 22? Because I heard he was not eating donuts anymore in 2022.
That's what I heard.
But so I know you're from Rochester, but have you had a cannoli donut? Because
They should have a donut named after Willie B at Donuts Delight.
Donut Haney?
All right, so if Willie B, here's your interview via chat. If you had a donut, what would you have on it? What would it consist of?
Ooh. A good question.
Yeah.
They're Brighton FC sponsored. He's legally obligated to eat there.
That's right.
That's funny. All right. So
Wave Dallas, you go.
Oh. Garbage plate donut.
No, you cannot combine the goodness of a garbage plate. No.
What is it? What is a garbage plate?
Okay. Garbage plate originated in Rochester. It is fries. Okay. Pretty much everything. Fries. You can put burgers on it, hot dog, meat sauce, macaroni salad, cheese. I mean, it's pretty much everything on one plate.
Wow.
And the most famous one, I haven't had one yet, is Nick Tahoe's.
So
I've heard they've had really good garbage plates. Haven't been there yet.
It's like the American version of poutine.
Yes. Not as good. I would rather have poutine than a garbage plate.
I have never had either, but I want both. Right now.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So by the same theory of why I'm picking Milwaukee to win Friday, I'm going to pick Milwaukee to win Sunday. But dude, I'm in Milwaukee. We don't have garbage plates. We have garbage fires here. We don't have garbage plates here.
And if you lose both games this weekend, there might be one.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think based on what I've seen so far, I can't pick either of these games without just flipping a coin. But
I'm sure next Friday you're going to be super confident. So
I'm going to be much more confident based on this weekend's results and how they play, because I'll know more. I feel like it's almost like Chihuahua. Like we don't even know what Chihuahua really is because they played the two hardest teams in the league, or two of the three.
Who?
The Chihuahua. Savage.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, they played two of the three hardest teams in the league, if we're talking San Diego and Ontario, and they played them both to a really tight game in the first half. And they were even beating, San Diego for a while.
Yeah.
For a long while. But I don't know what that means.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know what that means. And now 2 weeks off. I don't know what we're looking at. I think just when you think they're getting better. I mean, if we take the second half in Dallas, they got the sixth attacker in and got things clicking. And even without the sixth attacker, they had things clicking. If we take that momentum, move forward, and they move forward over the last 2 weeks on it, I think there's a really good chance of a sweep this weekend.
Yep.
But if they start out where they started out New Year's Eve, granted it was against KC and it was a closer game, I think we're in trouble. But anyway, Sunday, I've been stalling for you. Baltimore at Utica, p.m. Eastern.
So you will not be surprised by my pick, but I have actual reasons. I'm not just picking them because they're my team. I'm going to take Utica. I think, I know, right? This is on the Barks. Anything goes.
Wait. Jack? Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to use this hand signal without doing this.
Now would be a great time for a timeout.
Now, back to them.
Okay.
Yes.
So Jack says Ed Hale said on a live stream today that Baltimore is taking a bus from Dallas Dallas to Utica. So do with that info what you will.
Okay, so Adam, you know what I'm going to ask right now.
Is Lewis Melcher driving the bus? So those you don't know, the famous comment by Lewis Melcher years ago was that Baltimore took a bus from Monterey back to Baltimore, and that's why they were so tired to play the next game. I mean, a bus trip from Baltimore to Monterey, New Mexico, or Mexico is like, hang on. First of all, I don't know if there's buses that can go across the border like that.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah,
But let's see.
really
Hang on. Baltimore directions. This is gonna screw up my search history here. Monterey, Mexico.
I would say that's a good 37, 38-hour drive, maybe.
It says 29, but that's by a car. So if I put bus, well, first of all, if you want to take a bus, like your bicycle, it'll be 180 hours.
So completely off topic. So I think they fixed this, but if you went on Google and wanted to walk from Japan to China or China to Japan, it's like do something, and then it's like jet ski or something like that.
There was one if you did like New York to London, it was like swim across the ocean or whatever.
Yeah.
Right now, if I wanted to book bus tickets, it would take me 2 days and 6 hours by Greyhound bus. Now, I'm granted that's not a private bus. I better put this back to driving before I get some weird recommendations on my phone. Wait.
First
what?
of all,
hang on. What? Wait, what?
Oh Lord.
Jack said because there's no airports in Utica, it's apparently easier to bus them from Dallas to Utica. What?
Okay.
I have a question. What?
Yeah, Andy, go ahead.
What the hell?
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Ed Hale.
Yeah.
Hello. Hey, Ed Hale. FC Fanatic here. Let me fill you in on New York State. I know you've been here before because I've told one of your players to do something while you were standing right next to him. Utica, you're right. Utica does not have an airport. I mean, it might be a small airport, but it's pretty much in between two major cities in New York State. Syracuse,
Oswego?
which is like half an hour away, and Albany, which is like a couple hours away.
He says, listen, I'll send you all the stream I watched. I rewound it and listened again because I thought I was tripping out. I need
confirmation from Gianni because I'm befuddled.
Hang on. Hold. True that.
Like, you need a new travel agent. I mean, it's
okay. I just asked him. We'll see if he answers.
All right.
Wait. Oh, and by the way, you're live on the show.
So we've held interviews via chat.
Yeah, a live interview via chat.
Well, back to my analysis of the game. Regardless of whether or not they're hitchhiking across the country to get to Utica or taking a bus or a boat or whatever, Utica is going to win this game. Here's why. Utica turned everything around for the most part against Florida. And Baltimore kind of struggled a little bit against Harrisburg. They got their wheels going. Definitely think it's going to be a physical game. I don't see the rust that Utica did have back in that second game. I think they've knocked off a little bit more of that rust. And I think you're going to see a 6-5.
The Baltimore Utica special score.
That's right.
So 20. Oh, I did.
Okay. So I've just gotten word from someone. They're flying back to Baltimore and then taking a bus from Baltimore to Utica. That is the word.
That makes a little more sense. I mean, it makes a lot more sense, but yeah, that makes.
Yeah. To which I think that's okay. Thumbs up. Thanks, Brad. I still think Baltimore's going to lose, but
I mean,
yeah.
All they need to do is take a train, and we have a mix of an awesome movie here.
Yes, I think so.
All right, so we went over the Heat game. So I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick. I have faith in your guys, just so you can get your hopes up for a week, so we can crush them next week. That that Utica will win. I think at home, Utica's very strong.
Well, not this year. I mean, we're 1-2 at home.
But I think the energy is if the
yeah, I think it's
if the crowd can get into
one of the most electric, if not the most electric arena in the MASS right now.
You have yet to see the most electric.
Back to Jeffrey, but
I think the fact that they're only playing one game this weekend and Baltimore has two is gonna play a little bit into that, especially when Baltimore, like when their train breaks down and they have to carry the trunks across that cornfield and then drive home with the polka guys and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's gonna.
Yeah, and I think so. I think this is a must win. As I said before, you can't sit there and beat up on Harrisburg. You need to win some of these games, and their schedule is not easy.
Yeah.
I mean, next Friday's pretty easy. But besides that, you got Baltimore, Ontario, San Diego, Ontario. And then February, we're pretty much on the road, except that one Wednesday game, which is ridiculous. But
yeah. Well, that's the reschedule.
Yeah. I'm going to be excited to see how many people show up to that game.
Be excited to see what happens with the other two.
I'll be, fun fact, that game on Wednesday, I will be in the beer garden. So.
Oh, geez. Not yet, Bushwhacker. Bunswhacker, sorry. Okay, we did Harrisburg versus Florida again. We are now on the game that you just asked about. Chihuahua at St. Louis, Sunday, 4:05 p.m. Eastern.
Wait.
Chihuahua at Ambuns.
The Chihuahua at Ambuns matchup.
Yes.
So I think, from what I've heard, I think at halftime they're holding a spelling bee.
So the Wave has this goofy thing where they play, the song Dry Bones, like the hip bone's connected to the elbow bone.
Yeah.
So they have a skeleton. They used to have it like on a fold-out table, and they would just say, "Oh, take the pieces and make the skeleton." They'd have some kid do it. Well, the last game, they put it out. They put the skeleton in midfield, and they put all the pieces on both opposite yellow lines. And this poor 6-year-old girl is having to sprint all the way across the yellow line back to the thing just to put an arm down and then run all the way over here to get the leg. And so, yeah, what are we talking about again?
Cake.
Okay. Bunswhacker says we're hosting a spelling bee. He's the host of it. That'll be good. That'll be hard to do when you can't talk, but I'm interested in seeing that.
I mean, it should be a quick spelling bee. What, halftime is 15 minutes?
Yeah.
20 minutes, something like that. Yeah. I mean, throw out some hard words like inferno.
Like ambush. Or chihuahua.
Ambush. Inferno. Chihuahua.
Infierno.
Fueling.
Oh, he has a sign he can do. But if you... I don't know if you know this. If you hold up a sign with the word on it, then people know how to spell it like that. I don't want to ruin your...
Oh my God, I should make a sign, spell it wrong on purpose, and hold it up during the game.
Go Blarst.
Go Blars.
That would be worth seeing. Like the camera's been avoiding you all season. You got to get on there somehow.
Yeah.
This one's interesting for me because again, we haven't seen how Chihuahua play. I can't even say it. We haven't seen how the Savage plays. Let's go what? Bunswacker? Let's spell. He's typing and I got a sign how to spell pie, how to spell pizza, and then he says how to spell let's go ambush, but I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's not a thing. Yeah, I mean, and then you have to throw into the equation what Ambun's team you're getting. Are you getting the one that played game 1 against Tacoma, or the one that played game 2 against Tacoma?
Right. And it's Friday 8:30 against Sunday 4:00, so it's not like it's going to be a back-to-back nights. They still get a full day off.
Right. So I'm gonna say the Savage get their first win.
I'm going to go St. Louis. I think barring a massive implosion on Friday, which is certainly possible against KC, I think they'll pull it together because I mean they definitely have a lot to build on from last Sunday.
I'm trying to help you out with your bet.
I know.
Okay.
No, I'm keeping that in the back of my head. I still expect this team to win a lot.
I'm hopeful my team gets 13 wins. I'd be happy with that.
Right.
I'd be happy with 10.
I'm picking it's Bunswacker. Sorry, a little bleep there. I need a blooper beep. Do I have one? I have this. That's a little long though.
Yeah.
There we go. Ball on the play. 2 minutes for ambushing.
Not enough ambunzing.
Right. All right. Next game, Sunday, 6:05 p.m. Eastern at the Toyota Arena. The Ontario Fury host the San Diego Sockers. That's going to be a great game.
It's going to be a great game. Please hold. Okay.
Bless you.
I don't know why I did that. You could still see me.
I know,
like that. That just didn't make any sense.
I can just change, put like this up or something like that. Okay.
All right, we're good. I'm going to take Ontario. I think this is going to be, of course, it's a huge series between these two teams. Ontario definitely has the momentum going into this week. And they're playing on their home turf. And, yeah, give me the Fury.
Lucas says Ontario versus SD again. Is this Groundhog's Day? And then our friend Reimer says Fury 15, San Diego 0. Don't think it's going to quite go that way. Something in me just doesn't.
Okay, Adam, hopefully you're with me on this one and you have the right sound clip. It's going to be San Diego 6, Ontario 9.
Slippery balls.
Well, that.
Giggity.
Or giggity.
I was going to, whatever you said, I was going to do the opposite of what you were going towards. So
Oh. Okay.
I just had that lined up. Yes, I got what you said.
Okay, good.
One of my music videos, there is a, and in fact, the one I just released this week on my YouTube channel, there's a certain type of, yeah, that's Lucas, you got it. It's like 6 to 9, nice. There's a certain old style EQ from like the 50s or 60s, and it was called the Type 69 EQ. So I shot up a Bill and Ted picture on that one. I will pick the Ontario Fury by 3 goals.
Well, hey, that we agree.
I think I think they finally it was almost like they didn't believe they could win because of all the weird things that were happening to them versus San Diego. And I think they finally are like, oh, we got the game winner. Well, crap. They scored to tie it up. We have to go into overtime again. Oh, we scored. Now we can win. We can finally do it. I think they finally have the belief there. I think another week of practice is going to get over the issues they're having with the goalkeeper rule. I think that won't be an issue.
You'll probably see Toth and goal.
I was just going to say that. So Gianni just said, LOL, of course not, to the bus question.
Now you have to ask him if did you ask him if Melcher was driving the bus or just the bus in general?
I just said, what if Melcher drives the bus? That change your answer at all?
Does it change the answer?
So Lucas has a really, really good point that I wanted to ignore until he brought it up. San Diego just had a bad game plan that second half of that game because they got up by a goal or whatever it was, 2 goals, and then just sat back and tried to play defense the entire game, and it just didn't work. Lucas says if Melcher's driving, that thing is crashing. So I assume San Diego's going to change their game plan. They're not going to do the same thing. But I think this is going to be a great game.
I think you're going to look at. I think the key matchup of that game is going to be Guerrero Pino versus Frank Tayu. Like, I think you're going to see Pino as the defensive player of the year. Especially, I mean, if you shut out Frank Tayu, I mean, that's impossible. That's like Lewis Melcher driving a bus.
Yeah, without crashing.
Dallas, Utica.
The other thing is that Frank has had foul trouble this year. He's been on 3 fouls with like 10 minutes to go in the second quarter, like 2 games, if not 3.
Yeah.
But Bunswacker says, can we get to the big game of MASL on Sunday? Which one?
We already did.
We already talked about Chihuahua versus the Ambuns.
Yeah, we've talked about Utica versus Baltimore.
Last game of Sunday. Oh. This is the KC Comments versus the Toyota Stars.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the last game on Sunday. Another later game, 8:05 p.m. on Sunday. I like having late games on Sunday because it feels like you finish watching the games and it's like 5 o'clock and there's no more games to do and you're like, where am I? I'm lost. And will be at the Excesso Showwear Center. What is more likely?
It's not. Oh, wait. Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. Never mind.
But
I'm thinking next week.
Oh. What is more likely?
You make your pick. I'll be right back.
A Tacoma win or another brand new debacle with their broadcast? I think there's no way KC loses this game. But Tacoma just scored 15 goals. So I don't know. Now I'm talking to myself because Marty's gone. Oh, I see. It's the old switcheroo, and then you and I are going to pick against them.
Upset special.
Uh-oh. You're just trying to get the KC guys to show up in the chat again.
No, I think playing on a Friday, traveling out west, playing out west is always tough, I think, for teams because of the time difference and stuff like that. Which is why I'm probably not picking Utica for those 2 games out west. Maybe I am. I don't know. But if Tacoma comes out the way they did in that second game against St. Louis,
well, they can beat anybody at that point.
Right. I think it's going to be a close game. I would say like 8-7, 7-6.
The league course of the MASL.
I will take the Taco Masters.
So Lucas says, did you hear what I said? What's more likely,
what?
Tacoma winning or a new debacle with their broadcast? And Lucas says debacle's at 8 5 payout on the betting scale.
I would say something along those lines.
Yeah. Is there going to be a brand new debacle though, or we're just one of the existing like go-to debacles? That's what I'm wondering.
I don't know.
Bunswacker thought that game was at the T-Mobile Arena, but no, that's on the 22nd.
That's next week. I thought the same thing.
Yep. So
we will preview that next Friday.
Next Friday. We'll have to make more announcements on there. I think KC wins. Unless, one caveat, if KC takes a bus from St. Louis to Tacoma because there's no airports in Tacoma.
Right. Or if they take like a camel.
Oh, or a rickshaw.
Yes.
How many rickshaws would it take to get a... So this okay, so those of you who have kids in school, prepare yourselves. So Tacoma or Kansas City has 16 players. Jimmy's Rickshaw Shop has 5 rickshaws. Each rickshaw can hold 4 players. How long does it take Jimmy's Rickshaw Shop to rickshaw them from the right word? From St. Louis to Tacoma? And can they get there?
Depends on the rickshaw driver. If you have Lewis Melcher, it'll be like 10 minutes.
What if you had so Lewis Melcher versus Lewis Hamilton wins in a rickshaw race?
I'd give Lewis Hamilton a slight favorite.
Right. Okay, I agree with that. Alec has a really good point. I kind of like Tacoma wearing so many different jerseys this year. They've all been solid so far. Definitely agree.
I agree.
I like the idea of... like Milwaukee's done a new jersey every year, and it's kind of a no-brainer because then you sell more merch. Like if you ran the same jersey for 2 or 3 years, why would people want to buy new jerseys every year? People still will, but not as many as if you change the design up every year.
Right.
Jack, absolutely. He says they screw Lewis Hamilton over in the last lap and Melcher wins. Like standing ovation comment of the night. Oh boy, I am still not over that. We'll have to do F1 on the Barks next season. In the off season. When the league is busy fiddling around with the goalkeeper rules, we can talk about something really, real, tangible. So that's it for the games.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything else on my list. I didn't think this would be a super spoiler alert. But
what?
I don't know. I don't know if we already said it or I don't know what happened.
What?
I don't know. Bunswacker says spoiler alert with alarm signs. I'm waiting to see if he types anything else or.
Yeah, I don't know what that really entails, but okay.
What are we spoiling?
We're spoiling alerts.
Oh, leave them out on the counter too long. Yes.
Yeah, you don't want to spoil your alerts.
Spoiler alert: Ambuns are showing off their black jersey on Friday.
Ooh.
I like the teal one.
Love the teal one.
I would like to I'd like to get the teal one, but now that there's going to be a black one, so when you get me, if you can, the new Utica jersey, that will be the first team other than the Wave that I own 2 of the same team's jersey for indoor league.
Yeah. It's weird. Besides Utica, I think I have.
You probably have 3 Blast jerseys in.
One. That's Florida. 2. I think I have 3 Ambush. I think. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Well, that's more of a St. Louis Steamers. But.
Yeah, this will be the first. So the only other team I have 2 jerseys of. Well, I have 2 Team USA jerseys because they had some special on the store near me, like the dark and the light one. Back when they had the black one with like the blue in here and the red in here, I have two of those, and then I have 2 Man City jerseys because I like the way they looked.
Yeah, the light blue's nice. Too bad I'm not a Man City fan.
Neither of them are light blue. One of them is the I'll show you the whole thing when you get here, but one of them is black with like thin light blue and highlighter yellow stripes, and the other one is it's kind of light bluish, but it has like stripes, going like this way and that way and that way and all the other way.
Right, yeah.
But they were third jerseys for each season.
Right.
But yeah, I do have 2 pieces of Ambuns gear.
Yeah, I gotta go through and maybe like alphabetize or just change it up. I might bring this one out next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably wear my Huffman jersey. I was gonna wear my Huffman jersey tonight, but then this happened. We're not gonna. Yeah,
you can't go wrong with that. But.
Oh, I'm wearing that tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I finally last year, Brian, got the dark Tacoma jersey. Shipping on those things are completely absurd. And they had a 25% off sale, so I was able to get it down into a reasonable price where shipping didn't take it over like $120 or whatever it was. With all the shipping and handling and like blessed by various entities of Roman Greek gods and goddesses and packed, dusted in gold.
My Stars jersey was not dusted in gold, unfortunately.
Well, you didn't have to pay the mandatory, $9 fee for someone to put it in a bag and write an address on it.
No, I think Live Source did.
Oh, you got it through Live Source. See, I was trying to get one on their website, and then the guy with the dreads, brothers,
Drew Ruckles.
No, Tacoma fan. Can't remember his name. What?
Ty Hall.
No, Tacoma fan, not player.
Oh.
Daly, maybe? Brian, can you help me out here?
Oh, yes, I know who you're talking
about. Not player.
I know. I
haven't seen him post at all in the last 2 years. But he was going
to. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
He was going to get me one, and he kept going to the store at the arena, and they were all sold out every time. I didn't want to get one online with all the fees, but then they had the 25% off, and I was like, oh, that'll work. I was able to get one. And I've worn it on this show probably several times.
Yeah.
By my wine shop, and I'll give MASL jersey a free Bacchus blessing. That's what Reimer said. Maybe we just take it, in an off season, we'll take a trip out to Ontario.
Well, yeah, we can do that. I mean, I'll be out there in 2 weeks. So.
Yeah, I won't be able to be out there. But yeah, I think we're out of things to say.
Yeah.
I just want to check real quick. Let's update the injury report since we've been live.
Probably not.
Transactions. The Blarst signed Isaiah Dorsey.
Okay.
Sidekicks released Anthony Powell. On the 9th. Oh, that we knew that. Yeah. The day of whatever game, they signed all these players.
Yep.
They signed more, though. Yeah, no, that was the day of their... Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, let's talk about that. I got my days all mixed up. So, Alec and Gio, if you're still listening, guys might want to pay attention to this next part. So Tacoma got hit really hard with COVID. And they had a game Sunday night, and Sunday morning they signed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, 6 guys, and they signed 1 on Friday. Now, they were all signed from the WISL Tacoma Reserves team. And they won 15-5 with a lot of their players out due to COVID protocols. Whereas another team had some players out and just Nope, we can't make it. I thought that was interesting that one team was able to get something done and the other team said, no, we can't. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Very interesting. And granted, I know the Tacoma reserves, the Tacoma Stars that are in the MASL right now basically were formed from that team. It was the WISL team that took over the Seattle Impact back then, and then they just kind of backfilled the reserve team in the WISL. But they have a really good relationship, and of course, and it's the same ownership in that thing, but it doesn't mean there's no relationships that can happen in the Baltimore area.
You've got quite a few M3 teams.
Yes. So, well, yeah.
Yeah. And on that.
Alex just says, we all know player availability is proportional to field size.
Oh, well, then you guys came up short.
That joke is only a little offensive. So we're gonna name our band. We're gonna call ourselves the Little People Big Band, but we thought it would be a little offensive to some people.
Oh my God.
So are we ready for our closing remarks?
Yeah. Just a reminder, next week, no In the Box on Thursday, Friday afternoon.
Friday, we're gonna shoot for probably 2:00. I'm thinking, because we gotta leave the house like 3:30 to go to Goolsby's.
Yeah.
I think I'm like 2:00. Nice, like afternoon matinee. I know matinee is supposed to be on Sunday, but we'll call this a Friday matinee show. Friday afternoon, when all you're doing is staring at the clock, waiting to go home from work, just put YouTube on. Watch us. On Thursday, you can watch. I don't know what's on Thursday's lineup. Should I look up the TV list? I don't know, man.
Maybe watch this episode.
Watch this episode again on Thursday. Maybe something new will happen, but you have to watch all the way through to see if that happens or not.
Right. Exactly.
In the meantime, make sure you click this giant red button or click the actual one in the YouTube thing. Probably not the one you just saw on the screen, but the one that's
right.
And so I have a question for you.
Okay. Well, good night, everybody, and we'll do this again next week. Yes. What is your question?
What's the difference between a constipated owl and a blind sniper? The blind sniper shoots but can't hit. The owl hoots but can't